Hello everyone. This is Dr. P. Balaraju, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, SRR Gout Arts and Science College, Karimnagar. Today we are going to discuss about DNA structure. Watson and Crick model, very famous, familiar model in molecular biology. So DNA structure. Let me show some picture. So actually before DNA structure, before Watson and Crick model, there are so many scientists. They have worked on this DNA structure and DNA characteristic features. So among them, Wilkins and Franklin Rosalind are, and their colleagues are uh, very well known. Their experiments are X-ray diffraction experiments conducted on DNA. So this X-ray diffraction studies revealed that DNA is a three-dimensional structure, 3D structure. So after the DNA molecule can be exposed to X-rays. So X-ray somewhere encounters the DNA molecule and uh, come DNA means X-rays are collecting on some photo frame. So it leaves one spot. So all the spots together given a 3D structure of DNA molecule. So depending upon this X-ray diffraction experiments, they have concluded that the DNA must be a helical structure. It is a helical structure of two parallel opposite running strands. They have came to know that DNA molecule must be a having two strands coiling around them each other. So this is the helical structure. Came to know after the experiments of Franklin, Rosalind, and Wilkinson. So after them, Chargaff also studied very well, and he proposed a rule that in DNA strand the purines and pyrimidines are equal in quantity, that is they are present in 1:1 ratio. This is also very important rule. So depending upon all these clues, Watson and Crick constructed and explained all the properties, and they have proposed the DNA model, you know. So in 1953 they have proposed the DNA model, that is double helical structure of DNA, you know. So this is a great revolution which has brought a great revolution in the biological world, molecular biological world, and it has gained a popularity like Darwin's Origin of Species. So for their outstanding work, Watson and Crick and Wilkins awarded Nobel Prize in 1962, but Franklin Rosalind was not included in this team because already he has died just before announcing the Nobel Prize. Okay, Nobel Prize is not given for dead people, you know. So let's come to the Watson and Crick model. So this is the Watson and Crick model of DNA. Depending upon the X-ray diffraction and Chargaff rule, depending upon the physical, chemical and biological properties of DNA, Watson and Crick proposed double helical structure, and DNA must composed with two helical strands. They are parallel to each other and they are opposite in their directions, and moreover their coil in moreover their coil around them in right-handed manner. So this is the double helical structure of DNA proposed by Watson and Crick. Okay, and let's come to the some of the features. Here the double helical structure has nucleotides. So two strands they are parallel to each other, they are running in opposite manner. Each and every strand, helical strand, composed of four types of nucleotides. Okay, so these nucleotides, okay, and every strand has phosphorus sugar backbone and bases are inside the sugar and backbone at periphery, that means at outside. So here the bases in a base pair must be one purine and one pyrimidine. That is why lengthwise at any place, at any position, the length of the DNA molecule, the width of the DNA molecule is 20 angstroms, 2 nanometers. Because purine is too large and pyrimidine is too small, that is why in any base pair they can fit, they can adjust exact in the width of 2 nanometers, or that is equal to 20 angstroms. Okay, that is why in every base pair one is purine, one is pyrimidine. That is why this can satisfy the Chargaff's rule, because they are present in 1:1 ratio, you know. So the Chargaff rule stating that in all the organisms the DNA molecule must have purines and pyrimidines in 1:1 ratio, that means in equal quantity. The ratio of purines and pyrimidines are 1, sometimes very near to 1. Okay, and moreover here A and T, the ratio of base pairs adenine and T with CG is different from different organisms, but it is very specific to a species. You know, the ratio in between AT to GC is different for different organisms, but it is very specific to a species, you know. And moreover, the number of the ratio, the number of AG, the number of AG to CT is equal. You know, the number of adenine is equal to number of thymine, number of guanine bases are equal to number of cytosine. You know, because they are purines, these are pyrimidines. So this is in all organisms, this ratio must be 1. Okay, so these are the some features in Chargaff's rule. So that is why at any position the DNA width is 2 angstroms or 20 angstroms or 2 nanometers, and it is a helical, you know, it is a double helical structure. It coils, the two long parallel and oppositely running strands coil around each other. That's why make they can form minor groove and major grooves along the DNA length, and moreover it coils around its axis, so every turn is called as pitch. Every turn has 10 base pairs, and the length of the one turn is 34 angstroms. 34 angstroms. So here in every turn there are 10 base pairs. The length is 34 angstroms. That means that every base pair is in the distance of 3.4 angstroms. Okay, and moreover, a turn means 360 degrees. So in 360 degrees there are 10 base pairs. So it is meaning that a base pair can arrange in some angle to the preceding next base pair. So the angle in between two adjacent base pairs is 36 degrees. Because in turn that means 360 degrees there are only 10 base pairs. So here every two base pairs can be oriented in the angle 36 degrees. Okay, and moreover the purines and pyrimidines must have some hydrogen bonds. That is why they can fit in 20 angstroms width. Okay, so there must be some hydrogen bonds. So here adenine and thymine are complementary to each other. They have two hydrogen bonds. Guanine and cytosine are also complementary. They have three hydrogen bonds in between them. Okay, and one more important feature is that the complementary nature of DNA. Only because of this complementary nature of these opposite parallelly running strands, only because of complementary nature, they can store the genetic information as well as they can easily transmit the genetic information, only because of complementary nature. That is why DNA is a genetic material since long time. This is also one of the specific feature compared to RNA, complementary nature, because of both the strands, right? So this is a 3D view of DNA and graphical representation, right? Just you can see here 3.4 nanometers per a turn. So by two base pairs, the distance in between two base pairs is 0.34 nanometers or 3.4 angstroms, right? So here 1 nanometer equals to 10 angstroms. Remember it. And there are 5 types of DNAs. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, and Z. Okay, and most familiar DNA forms are only 3: A, B, and Z DNA. Here, Watson and Crick model DNA is B DNA. It is a classical regular model B DNA. Okay, whenever the B DNA experiences dehydration or high salt concentration, which can turn into aDNA, right? Sometimes bDNA can turn converted into zDNA to restrict the gene expression. Okay, till now B and Z DNA forms are identified in living cells. Okay, and A, B, C, D, E forms of DNAs are converted in only laboratory. They are the bDNA converted into those forms in laboratory only. Okay, so there are some comparable features in between aDNA, bDNA, zDNA. Let me show you. So these are the some of the comparable features of bDNA with A and zDNA. And moreover, in zDNA, let me explain something about zDNA. In bDNA, the backbone is phosphate and sugar backbone, which is outside of the DNA, and bases are inside, And in zDNA, what will happen? The backbone, phosphorus and sugar backbone orientation is zigzag. That is why it is called as zDNA, right? And moreover, it is a left-handed helical structure. It has left-handed orientation. zDNA can restrict the gene expression in living cells, right? So it is shown that bDNA sometimes converted to zDNA. Okay, now let's come to some features. Type of helix, type of helical structure. In bDNA, right-handed helix, it exhibits right-handed helical structure. aDNA also right-handed helical structure, and whereas zDNA has a left-handed helical structure. The diameter of DNA strand, okay, nearly it is 22 nanometers. It is aDNA about 2.5 nanometers, exactly 2.3 for bDNA, 2.5 for aDNA, and 1.84 for zDNA. Okay, and the distance between two base pairs, that is 0.34 nanometers in bDNA, 0.29 nanometers in aDNA, right? 0.37 nanometers in zDNA. So the pitch, the length of the complete turn, the length of the complete one turn is called as pitch. So the distance of one complete turn is 3.4 nanometers in bDNA. The complete turn about 3.2 nanometers height. Okay, the complete turn makes a length that is 3.2 nanometers, and in zDNA that is 4.5 nanometers. The number of base pairs for a complete turn in a pitch, in a complete turn, there are 10 base pairs in bDNA, whereas aDNA has 11 base pairs, whereas zDNA has 12 base pairs. And morphology, topology of major groove. Morphologically, major groove in bDNA wide and deep, and minor groove narrow and shallow. In case of aDNA, major groove narrow and deep, minor groove broad and shallow. In zDNA, major groove flat. Okay, there is no deep, it is a flat, and a minor groove narrow and deep. Okay, these are the some comparable features of three DNAs. Some other comparable features here. Okay, and the shape of the DNA, bDNA shape is intermediate, aDNA shape is very broad, okay, and zDNA narrowest. Okay, and here the glycosidic bond orientation. In bDNA, it is anti-orientation. Okay, anti-orientation in bDNA. In aDNA, it is anti-orientation. In zDNA, alternating anti-orientation and syn orientation. Okay, anti and syn, anti alternating. It is similar to Shashi Shekharan model. You know, Shashi Shekharan, the scientist, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, he has proposed a right and left model. So some about 5 base pairs in right-handed helix, 5 base pairs in left-handed helix for every 10 base pairs. For every 10 base pairs, 5 are in right-handed orientation, 5 are in left-handed orientation. Okay, so this model was proposed by Shashi Shekharan to explain the topology, the supercoiling, the supercoiling topology, topological pressure during the DNA replication. He has proposed that model. Okay, so somewhat it is equal to that manner, anti and syn orientation, right? So these are the some comparable features of B and Z aDNA models. Thank you very much.
Daddy. Hello, hello. Hello,